I wanted to talk about what I have been noticing, kind of like flashing in what's happening really, because it's generational. And if you now, what I mean is that we have generations rising up and then cashing out. Cashing out is a really good way of saying it because you want to include what is money up to? How does it fashion up or doctor up or whatever you want to call it's an excuseness that it is. It's an excuse. Say much like a doctor's excuse that I don't know about when it became when I was a kid, when I was going to school, you couldn't just pretend like you were sick. I mean, I started doing that and they needed doctor notes and it became a mandatory. Everybody needs doctor notes after so many weeks of being out, right, and missing and not attending. I tried everything. I always played sick. They want a doctor's note. So that is what money is. It's just an excuse or a pass that says I couldn't make it to school, but in this analogy, the school is actual reality, the account opened with reality, and then handling the truth responsibly, like tapping it and then feeling good. So that's what money is. It's kind of a dropout system. It's like a backdrop, actually. It's the backdrop. Hard to tell what it's doing because it's all hooked up into human energy that generates, like, say, inventions. But see, you can't have that as a human being. The non-human occupation that will hold the gun to your head, which is why we're afraid of that, is a whole other click over there, and let's give that to Jesus. Why are we afraid of death again? I don't know. I kept telling you, as long as there's women here, which I was a woman, by the way, and so they keep abusing my property. And, huh? Wait a minute, this person's talking too much. Ah! What property? The universe is mine. Would you shut up? Anyway, God, interruptions. To detect what has been going on. Something, see, now whatever has made up money, which I don't think it's a bad thing, see, if it was to be realized as to how it is, I don't think there's any use for it. The only use for it really is, see, there's computerization, and that was the first computerizer. Now, how would you computerize the human organism, the potential of the human organism, which is just a potential? Now, how would you see? It's here and it operates like machinery. It just moves. It's not a human being. It's more like a robot when it operates like machinery and takes orders and does without questioning and then gets food and rewarded and more shelters adds just this, yeah, yeah, right? Right? You following me? And so, okay, so um, what it's really doing, people don't really see it because they live in fear and and it brings them such comforts, right? We have these so-called comforts, which really is like, is it a trap? Right? Are you now, did they cut your legs off when they gave us cars? Did they cut our ability to socialize when they gave phones? You'll be surprised at how people began to talk about their the changes in their daily lives when they got a fucking phone, public phones, when they were able to call each other and plan and say and talk and whatever. A lot of the complaints from the elder and say the people that were noticing that, no, this is actually making us lazy. It's okay, if you can just imagine what social media did for us. Absolutely vacated us of our social lives and sent a lot of people into their meta, and everybody thinks they're what they are, and everybody thinks that they're looking at people on Facebook when they're not. Even my cat knows that this thing here, if it shows a mouse on there or whoever, if they thought that that was a real mouse and didn't walk behind it and say, fuck, that's not there, they would starve to death. My cats are smarter than that. So they don't do that. We watch that. But human beings, because they have a problem. Let's call it this. They have a disease. What is this really, Christ? Oh, you lost your real life. You don't know that there's no death. So you can just make that this doesn't matter. And what are you going to see? They will not. Let me take this conversation over, you stupid idiot. God. What they did was, if you get it, the sci-fi movie goes that we were hijacked. We were definitely strong-armed into position. They killed off the people that said, we don't die. Now what? See, they will never kill off the organism that in fact has this potential to reach. And see, when it's reaching, it's searching, right? And then it's fed the wrong information about everything, especially about what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do? Like God, which is just the search to cultivate your own powers from within that is called love. Love. Are we confused with words yet, narcissists? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And so then, if you follow me here, yeah, they make sure that they bat back and kill the real live human beings who say, no, we're one with the universe and we're just visiting here. And like the chickens over there, see, the story of Jesus, you want to look for the stories that have stuck around where people just said, this is what happened when that person came through our town and walked on our street. And it was more like, yeah, fuck you, man. Beard. It was a big challenge, but that person, most people could see it's like, oh no, actually, no, that person's aura spoke for itself, but it was controversy. A lot of people didn't like it, but those people were going blind and deaf suddenly. I don't know how did that happen. Jesus was pretty powerful and wasn't always peach and creams, babe. Sometimes she could open her mouth and it was like the sky opened up and it fucking starts pouring down lightning bolts and you would think that the hell is warming over. So yeah, no, you don't want, see, the system doesn't want you to know your real powers of self-organizing, of tapping the plasmatic field and being able to change the weather yourself. See, they've disconnected a lot of people just from having made them fear. Just turn them into non-human beings, which is to live fearfully. Love is human, fear is the narcissist. They glom on to the world that says, no, this is the way you do it, and stay safe, be safe. So all I have to say with that is to please practice safe sex. You don't want to fucking keep reproducing with these people accidentally, but you have your karma with that. So, but let me get back to the generational thing that's happening via nothing to do with the fact that there's men and women here. What I'm saying is like now that there is the potential to become, both of them have the potential of becoming enlightened, becoming aware, simply purely aware as humane beings. No longer do they cater to this. It's not that important. So you wouldn't make other things more important than just staying aware. And boy, is that a problem for the system. Think with me a little bit, right? You'd have to say, no, go back into your unawareness, which, see, the most purely aware person isn't a body. They know that they're having an experience of the body. And they're like, oh, well, isn't this a hell of a dream? So one of the things that Jesus told a villager who was being ornery, if God is real, you believe in God and you think God is here, then show us. How do you describe God? What is she or he like? And she said, if you want to know how God is and how we're all connected to it, observe the hens in your own backyard. And now, having said that, babes, what it's looking like is that, yeah, we reincarnate here. It's ongoing. We haven't seen an end yet. Have you seen an end yet? Have you really fearful about it? Come on, think with me. The answer is you have not ever seen an end to your life yet. No. If you're watching this, you have no fucking choice. You're in the chaos now, and congratulations. You're getting a little tiny glimpse of your real life if you just thought about it. Have I ever seen an end yet? I'm not talking about the illusion of other people shedding their laundry and going home. I'm talking about you, honey. You! Do you have a temple? Where's your temple? Are you feeling enough within that environment, which is your inner state of being, which, it's a trip because you do have to get through your body here. That's what we're doing here. We're just kind of going through the school of becoming human. Moving forward with this sci-fi show, do you see how many, 8 billion people are out there, and hardly any of them are becoming? If they do, they are deemed crazy and insane. And see, the thing is about your system, the money system. Just fall back into that, and well, they gave a vaccine that Rudolf Steiner says, no, this is to get rid of that one that says, no, I'm pretty sure we don't die, and we could be one intrinsically with something bigger than our fear and need to just, what kind of glasses did you get? Look at this. Look. Do you see the stripes that they put? And this is made out of some kind of plastic resin, actually. But see that? And it's a lower cost. But they could charge more. And there's a flood here. It's just like there's a trash heap of fucking materialism going on. And just doesn't even think past that there might be suffering on this plane, real life suffering, not just you people. That when you can't imagine that any of that of your material life is less important than maybe aligning your inner world to a real life, which is the cosmos. Get out into virgin nature, sit and feel, how much can I do without? And you'll realize most of it. And then you can boil it down to, wait a minute, what happened? All I need is food. Sees a cricket calling. Zing! Wow, pure protein. Man, they weren't joking with that little suggestion when they're whipping us around, because there's something whipping the organism around on a collective scale. And I say that there's two here. There's the malevolence that takes advantage of the possibility of becoming human, and which is a lot of energy, right? They're trying to reach, and just the question of the child saying, "Mommy, did I see what I just saw?" That's energy. They are trying to establish their inner faculties that would be more and more grounded. And all she has to do is say yes or no. That's the difference between, did you go to God or did you choose Satanism? Did you choose love, the selfless one who says, you're just excited that little part is even questioning you and what you reflect, and you were alive, and say, well, yes, it was, and it is, and it still is, and that's because that's the truth, kid. And they're going, zing, I knew it! And then they go off and run, and you mind your own business, and they mind their own business, and God takes care of the rest. It's a big yes. Or did you say no because you're a control freak, and it threatens you when somebody learns something new in front of you because it takes the attention off of you? Hello, government. Just a parasite directing the entire organism in this very manner. Now, I wanted to clarify systematically from generation to generation. Now, there is this very easy thing. I'm dialing in on it, and money computes it. Money is computerizing. Okay, now, any kind of prejudice, right? Or any kind of fear. Anything that's born out of fear that results. Now, see, fear is creating something. Now, if you can imagine, women handle fear a different way because they're completely different. And men will handle fear one way and completely different. See, they're two, these aren't human beings anymore. When I call them men and women, they're just the potential of becoming beyond fear, beyond the mind, just the presence of this moment now, available to the present moment. See, what, if you keep talking to me with this and think with me and get involved and open your own, you'll never open your own channel about this. See, the thing is I afford my life because I recognize babe, do you know about the 144? I'm chosen here and I'm protected for one. That's why I sit the way I do, but there isn't anything more to do but to try and unravel this shit. And now what I've seen, what I've picked up, it's pretty putrid. It's sickening because the organism has been rendered very sick. You know this, right? But see, I'm looking at it now. This is what it looks like, though. This is what it looks like. It looks like all kinds of wars, right? All kinds of wars. But now, what is rearing its head to me? It's really condensed and it's obvious and it's not being spoken about. And it's like this is the main thing, because if men and women would just get along, none of this would be a fucking problem. There wouldn't even be pollutions, disease, or anything. Not even the fear of death. There wouldn't even be death. Something continues to have them fighting, and it's looking different each generation, and it's just looking putrid now. That's why we have the issue of narcissism coming up. And most popular, why did you see it? I'm not in control of any of this. And people that think that they are and they're struggling, you better stop and make this system work for you, and it will. Here's the way. You do two of one thing that's happening here. See, there's one organism here. One organism. There's an organization that's possible here. But you have to point out the plague, narcissism, the mind, fully encapsulated, that is fully hallucinating a life to be under an influence that says something, fucking jiggers it and says, boom, and now this is how you will see it the rest of the way. Fear of death. The other says, there's enlightenment, fuckers. There is love here. We are human beings when we are fully arrived into our bodies and one with the universe. I didn't make this up. That's been saying this forever. And we're talking about energy now. Not our bodies. We're talking about the energy that is available. The real energy. The energy that, big fucking deal. You're one with the universe. It is a slum. It's human. No, I don't mean it that way. You want access to how many fucking quadrillion galaxies with all the possibilities in the world? Get a hold of your own imagination. Use it right. Get a healthy imagination which is orientated to reality here. This school and the truth that makes you go zing. Share that with each other. You're not getting a reward from a fucking a hidden hand that says good job and gives you money and makes you get your fucking TV dinner and stow away into your bubble. Hit like and subscribe if you recognize a real leader, and do not waste my time with your mind. I will get allergic to you. I'm allergic to minds that aren't doing that want to pull me into that. You cannot see. That's what your money does for you. It's being sure to convince everybody of their fear. Mind. Those are synonyms. A disease, a plague on the planet. Not on the planet, within the organism. It has been computed into an inhospitable environment for what? For what? The human being. Jesus, was that you? Was that hospitable? No, I like my picnic table set up.